couldn't do the fancy switch because I'm not using my regular microphone tonight. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. I am the Everyday Dad. Thanks for joining the Pillars of Action. We can do that because the family's not here today. So let me just get everything set up real quick, and we will get going with the show. We have a fantastic show tonight. We're going to talk about YouTube. We're going to talk about fancy cameras. We're going to do some tweeting. If you'd like to share this on Twitter or your brand of social media, get some more people out here so we can have a better... Oh, we tweeted it already? Wow, that was fast. I already had it saved. Technology, you know, figuring out all this fancy stuff. Photo gear fun. Snickerin. Rainsword, Peter Carroll, Cohen, and everybody else, thanks for joining us. So I'm excited to have you here. Whoa, hold on. I'm used to having the microphone in a place where I can move around. Now the microphone's like right here, so I can't just like run around as much as normal. So we also don't have any caffeine tonight because I forgot to go shopping for my normal soda. So we are, you know, solo show tonight. Normally you would see my very lovely assistant, the everyday mom / wife, whatever she wants to be called this week. She would normally sit right here. Well, she's not able to sit there today because she is out of town. So let's hop into it. Let's just get started. So, you know, I love Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot. I peruse the social media channels quite a bit anymore, and I've been seeing some stuff about people wanting to start YouTube channels, people giving out advice about YouTube channels, and I figured, you know, heck, why not give my little 2 cents? So if you guys have any questions or you have any concerns or you're new to the channel, I saw some people in the chat are like new to the channel. Welcome. If this is your first time joining us for a live stream, we have an awful lot of fun. But if you have any questions, just shoot them to @TheEverydayDad, or if you want to do a super chat, definitely that would pop right up to the top and we'd be able to get to it. So the way we break out the live streams is I'm going to talk about my randomness for about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll then segue. We'll probably do answer some questions along the way. Then we'll do Pillars of Creation, where if you have a YouTube video that you'd like me to check out and you'd like some, you know, some critiquing on it, I will definitely do that. Whoa, before I say we're going to do that, I don't have my headphones. Okay, Pillars of Creation is a question mark. Question mark right now, because I need headphones to be able to hear the stuff. But, okay, so then Pillars of Creation, then followed up by question and answers till we just kind of run out of time. These generally last for about an hour, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I see a question right off the bat. Tim and Gabs, what bike do you have? Is it full suspension or hardtail? I have a Surly Karate Monkey Ops. It is a hardtail. For those that are not into mountain bikes, that basically means it's a full metal frame. A full suspension mountain bike is in 2 pieces where you can get like full suspension, which as we get older, I definitely want to move into a full suspension bike because my back cannot take very much hardtail anymore. But so starting YouTube channel, so just start. Like if one person out there today, of the 60 people that are watching right now, if one of you want to start a YouTube channel, just start it. I get so frustrated because I see a lot of stuff on like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube about people like, you need to know this before you start your YouTube channel. You need to do this before you start your YouTube channel. You need to do blah, 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 blah. Preparation is important. You should always be prepared in whatever undertaking you're doing. But if you want to start a YouTube channel, just start a YouTube channel. Like when I started the channel, and we've seen my videos. We have seen my videos, how terrible my first videos are. Everybody's video is bad. Oh, it's a little too quiet. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Hold on real quick. Syncing is way off. Dang, why is the syncing way off? This is what we get for trying new stuff. This is what we get for trying new stuff. Hold on, we're going to try to fix it. We're going to try to fix it. If we can't, we may... Hold on, not that. Not that. Not that. I didn't want to set up like all the microphones and stuff today. And this, sometimes we pay the piper. We pay the piper for what we decide. Let's see here. Let's bring you down. Hopefully that should fix it. If that doesn't fix it, let's see. Is that fixed now? Oh, I hear myself like in the past. Hopefully that should fix it. If that doesn't fix it. Okay. Okay, hold. Okay, where is the XO? One second. Entertain yourselves for 1 second. Okay. Now we got a microphone. Now we just need a cable. We just need a cable. My kingdom for a cable. And we've got a cable. Okay, there we go. Cable detached. That's a Star Wars reference. Okay, here we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. When you start doing live YouTube shows, you learn how to fix problems really quick because you're always going to have a problem because there's always 1,000 problems going on. Okay. Audio. Okay, let's cat. Audio test. Audio test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3. Okay, audio should be fixed. Let me know if it's not. That might be a little loud. There we go. Okay, so audio should be fixed. Let me know when you're seeing this microphone if it's fixed. I see a yes. Test good. There we go. So that's what... Okay, let's get rid of that. So when you start doing YouTube videos and you start doing live streams, sometimes you just got to, like, fix stuff on the fly. And so now we're going to have this microphone. Where's the... Oh, I don't know where the... Okay, hold on one more second. So this could be a live lesson, actually. When you're talking about YouTube and you're talking about doing live streams or stuff like that, audio is very important. And you can see, like, the image quality of this, we're streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second, is one of the best, like, ways that you can, is one of the best, like, resolutions to stream at. But nobody cares about your video quality. People care about your audio quality. I don't want to hold this all day. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. Audio fixed. And it doesn't take that long. Okay, so audio. So, what were we talking about? Because now that... Oh, yeah. So, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just get started. Just go get started. As soon as you're done watching this live stream, whatever you want to talk about. So, I see in a lot of the questions... So, we've talked about this before where I found this really weird community of people where all they did was they subbed to each other, which, yes, it increased their subscriber count, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, subscriber count is like the worst thing to base your success on YouTube off of. For the main reason is that it's awesome when people subscribe, and I hope if you have subscribed, I really appreciate you subscribing. But the thing about YouTube is all algorithmically driven, even subscribers. So if you, let's say you watch camera videos and you subscribe to my channel and you continue to watch camera videos, YouTube will be like, okay, hey, the Everyday Dad released a camera video. Let's show you the Everyday Dad's camera video. But let's say somebody shouts me out and you're like, oh, I want to follow that guy because he's been shouted out. But you don't ever watch a camera video. You don't watch a video about videos. You don't watch drone videos. You don't watch tech videos. Even though you subscribe to me, YouTube is not going to show my content to you. They just won't. So just get started. You'll learn it on the way. Small creators are great. I consider myself a small creator because I'm a tiny little YouTube channel. But you just you get out there, you get a little better each time, and you'll figure it out as you go along. I get really irritated, and I will get to the questions, I promise. But this is like the beginning of the videos where everybody's here, and I really want to get this message across to as many people as possible. Just get started. Don't hustle till you, like, burn yourself out. You got to find a sustainable way to do this. Is anything in life. Anything in life comes down to you being able to do it sustainably. I get, like, yes, it's hard work. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, being successful on YouTube is not hard work. I consider myself successful because I have now accomplished exactly what I wanted to do when I started YouTube. Would I like the silver play button? Yeah, and I think we'll get there. But I wanted to be able to talk about stuff that I enjoy talking about. I wanted to be able to make videos that I enjoy making, and I wanted to be able to, you know, have it fund itself. And I'm fortunate enough that I'm there. But I started off making a whole bunch of stuff that I just enjoyed making, and eventually I found something that I liked making, and YouTube liked me making, and so it was a win-win. But it took me, 6 or 7 months to get there. It took me 6 or 7 months of making, you know, I did daily content for over a month. Most of it's hidden now. You can't find it because it's terrible, and it has nothing to do with what the channel is today. But you got to experiment. Don't be so wrapped up in being able to prepare and to prep and to get everything set and established and perfect and perfect and perfect. Life and YouTube do not want perfection. Life and YouTube, and I would say generalities. I mean, I've not done every job in the world, but most jobs do not want perfection, or they don't want somebody that can only be perfect like once every so often. Most things in life want something that can sustainably do good. Like, if you can do good, if you can release good content at a steady pace, YouTube will be happy. If you can do good stuff in your regular life, that is good. like, don't be so wrapped up around the numbers. Don't be so, like, nervous about it. Just get out there, have fun. Have fun. Because YouTube is, I have my own personal opinions about YouTube, but, you know, it should be something that you can enjoy doing, and I feel like we're circling. So, to the comments, what do we got? Owen K, you should make a podcast. Well, I tried making this into a podcast, and there's 2 episodes of this out, but then the app that I was using for that did like did this really weird thing where, like, if I logged on from the computer, it was a different logon than if I logged in on the phone, even though it was the same email address. So the hassle of trying to get that working, I just kind of gave up. But this is supposed to be a podcast at some point. Rick Halber, super chat for $20. Thanks for putting on a great show each week. Well, thanks so much, Rick. I really appreciate it. You know, I really enjoy this. And yes, there's some, so if you're in the Twitterverse, there is definitely some conversations going on right now. Do live streams help or do live streams hurt? Is it more important to, like, streamline your content so it's all the same thing all the time to make the algorithm happy? And you know what? Honestly, live streams probably hurt a channel's, like, retention rate. All the ones and zeros that make a channel, like, rank and search and all that stuff, live streams probably hurt that. But live streams are just so good for, like, interacting with people. Like, Help at Home, you know, he wouldn't have won that camera bag 2 weeks ago if we weren't doing the live streams. Like, I love live stuff because I love being able to interact with you guys. Like, it's probably not the best thing for the channel. If I were to make a 4th video a week and put that here, we'd probably grow, like, a little bit faster. But that's not, again, stuff that you enjoy doing over stuff that, you know, maybe technically works better, you know. David Solis, Everyday Mom is pretty cool. I'm a pretty big fan. Okay, so do you have any questions? If you, like I said, if you have any questions, shoot them over to me. We're going to transition. If you have any YouTube questions, continue to ask them, but we're going to transition to our second topic of expensive cameras. Are they worth it? In a YouTube sense. So I get a lot of, like, comments on my YouTube videos and, you know, Twitter and everywhere else that you can find me of, like, what camera should I use? Should I get this camera? Where was I going with it? Okay. You know, I don't have any caffeine. I got the non-caffeine brain. I got the non-caffeine brain going on. So, what camera should you use? Are expensive cameras worth it? I don't know. Like, I love cameras, so I do have expensive cameras. I'm not totally sold on the nature of having expensive cameras yet. So what made me think of this today is, so I went out today and I got this, and this was actually going to be the thumbnail today. This is the Sony RX100 Mark VI, and it is an outrageously expensive camera. Like, I cannot believe how darn expensive this camera is for what it does. Like, it's outrageous. Like, I don't want to say outrageous because it does have some good stuff, and we'll make some videos about it, and maybe it'll sway me. But, like, are expensive cameras worth it? So I say a lot that you can make great content from a cell phone. I still believe that, and I do still believe that. So we'll probably do a video of the RX100 Mark VI against the S9 like we did with the 100 Mark V. Oh, you didn't see the camera? Well, it's not very big. Hold on. Let's move the light over here. Maybe the lighting will be a little bit. Hold on, let me get the live shot. Yep, that's the camera. Yep. There. That's the camera. That's the Sony RX100 Mark VI. I am ashamed. I don't even want to say what I just paid for this stupid thing today. Something else. We got some news that we'll talk about here in just a second. But are expensive cameras worth it? So cameras are tools, right? So I think we all, and I'm guilty of this too, that we all get wrapped up in our tools, and for some reason cameras are very personal things that people take very personally. And when you say cameras are not worth it, people get very angry about that. But you got to consider it a tool. What do you want your image to look like? Right now, I like having, you know, a darker. I like having as little light as possible so we get the purple in the background. I like having the background a little bit blurry. So what makes that easier is a full-frame camera. And one of the cheapest, best full-frame cameras out there right now is the A7 III. That's kind of how we wound up there. I also like doing very nice slow-motion B-roll. I don't have a lot of space, so I need to have something that I can do that handheld with. So I use the GH5 for that, which is, you know, also an expensive camera, but these are tools, and you got to consider what do you need out of a tool. So are they worth it? It really comes down to what do you need out of a camera, whether that camera is worth it to you. Don't get emotional. We all get emotionally wrapped in it. Like these are my little, I don't want to say kids, but they're like, I become emotionally attached to these cameras, especially these two. These two cameras are really great. But if you don't need this kind of firepower, then the expensive camera is probably not worth it. When I started out, I started with a Lumix G7, fantastic camera. Who was it? Caleb Pike over DSLR Video Shooters uses his G7 to do his live streams, and they look amazing. So expensive cameras are great when you need them. I don't know where I was planning on going with that today. Because I was just so shocked. Because there's a lot of stuff that I like about the RX 100 Mark VI. I actually just finished up the script for my initial impressions of it. I've been filming with it most of today. After those of you that follow me on Twitter know that I was out filming another series of videos today about an action camera that has a not waterproof case that decided to destroy itself when I set it in like this much water. I set the waterproof case in this much water, and it filled with water and bricked the action camera. So I'm going to shoot a note over to that company and be like, hey, guys, you ruined one of my SD cards. Thanks so much for your action camera. I do really appreciate it. So after that, in my SD card, in my hunt to go find a new SD card for the one that I bricked today, I was at Best Buy and I was like, ooh, look at how shiny this thing is. It's new and it's fancy and it's tiny, and it's got the flippy screen. It's got a touch screen. It doesn't have audio, which I have an external audio recorder now. But, the genesis of this was... are expensive cameras worth it? Because this, like I said, this is a very, very expensive camera. For this price, you could almost get a GH5. There's a used GH5 on Adorama right now for like $1,500. That's such a good price. This is $1,200. I mean, yeah, you still got to get a lens, but there's way more functionality in this than there is this. This thing overheats a lot. This thing doesn't overheat at all. It's just, cameras are great. I love cameras, or I wouldn't talk about them so much, but you really got to, like I said, you got to balance what do you need versus what do you want. What do I want? I want all the cameras. Do I need all the cameras? No, I could probably get along with just one of these. And I've considered selling one of these but they're just so good. The A7 III and the GH5 are just so good. And I don't want to fall into that trap. So, okay, to the comments, because I don't want to fall into the trap about talking about my GH5 and my A7 III for another forever. Help at home, no, the rice did not dry out. It's still sitting in the rice, but it's been in there for like 8 hours now. I'm pretty sure it's just done. So another thing, people are like, oh, well, who cares if the ports are left open? Well, the ports are open on that action camera. So when the waterproof case failed and I pulled it out, water got in all of it. Water got in all of it, basically useful. So family of 5, what audio setup do you use besides the microphone? Well, you can actually see it because I'm not using it right now. Well, so my primary microphone that I use in my talking head videos is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. It's suspended on a boom pole, this boom pole actually, right above me. I use that. I do a little bit of audio processing inside of Final Cut Pro. Basically, I like to bump up. I flatten it. I do voice priority, but then I lower the decibels. I feel like it gives me a much cleaner sound. I'd like to switch over to an XLR microphone, kind of like this. You can get an attachment for the GH5 or the A7 III that lets you plug XLR mics into it, and I think that would be really good. But that's something for the future, not for right now. Hold on. What do we got? Get out the house, go fish. Oh, wait, you asked me a question. Hold on. Get out the house, go fish. When companies start to contact you about reviewing their products, do you have to pay up front, or do they send it to you for free? Do not pay for it up front. I refuse to accept that, because here's what they're trying to do. If an Amazon seller is reaching out to you, they want you to buy it so they can count you, well, if they're legitimately going to reimburse you at some point, they want you to buy it so that you can be a verified purchase when they're like, oh, hey, we require you to make an Amazon review now. I never, ever, ever, if a company says you got to buy it first, I'm like, well, thanks, guys. You can find somebody else to do that. I'm not doing that. So I get offers all the time to review stuff for, whoa, Folo. Sorry, dude, you are out of here. Wait, that wasn't what I meant to do. I meant to that. So yeah, if a company's gonna make me like buy something, no, because they're either not gonna pay me back or they're trying to like game the Amazon system. So I refuse to be party to that. Sorry guys. I do get offers all the time to review stuff, but like there's only so many Bluetooth headphones or speakers that a person can review. If a company sends me something that like I have to be interested in, I have to feel like it'll be a good mesh for the channel. Like I've got like 5 things in right now, and I probably need to tell people to stop sending stuff for a while. I've got the Fayutech G6s in. I'm really excited to check that out. I've got a drone from Xiaomi that we're gonna check out. This little guy. It's like the Tello, but Xiaomi's version of the Tello. I'm pretty excited to see that. But yeah, don't accept stuff if they want you to buy it. They're trying to be fancy or something. So not a big fan. What do we got? Any other? Jonathan Maxwell. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Thanks for joining us. How is the house hunt for good places to fly drones in the greater Washington, D.C. area? There are none. There are no places to fly. I mean, so Fairfax County used to not let people fly drones on their property. They very recently, like July 1st, changed that. But there's still like really like no place to fly around here because most of the Fairfax County places are still within that huge no-fly radius. So if I want to fly a drone, I drive an hour and a half east to the Maryland coast, and the Chesapeake Bay is where I've been flying. But I haven't had a chance to fly very much just because of like an hour and a half drive is not something easy to do. It's not something easy to do. We talked about audio. Rice did not work. Cohen, Rice did not work. It did. I've had it work before, but it didn't. Definitely did not work right there. Definitely did not work right there. Steve Carpenter, hey, at the Everyday Dad, shout out to you. Many thanks for the Moza Air gimbal review. You demand has saved me $260. That's awesome. Yeah, I did not plan that out. Like, I released the Moza Air video, or I edited it. I did all the stuff behind the scenes. Got it ready to go, got it scheduled. The next day I checked B&H's, like their deal zone they have every day, and I was like, holy cow, they've got it for like $260 off. That's such a good deal. So we're actually going to be giving away a Moza Air. I was going to start that giveaway this week, but the Everyday Wife's not here, and I kind of wanted her to be here for that because it'll be the biggest thing we've ever given away. So the Moza Air, we're going to give away the Moza Air here pretty soon. What else? We got some stuff. We got some giveaways queued up that we'll be starting, but that's the big one. We're pretty excited. We're pretty excited for that. Jeff Baker, come to Roanoke. We'll go flying. I've been meaning to get out. It's just been busy with the new job, trying to get used to everything there. But I do want to come out and go flying. Speaking of which, travel. Thank you for reminding me. So I will be going to the Photo Plus. I think it's called Photo Plus Expo in New York City in October. If you're going to that, let me know. Maybe we can do like some kind of like Everyday Dad meetup or like some kind of cool camera meetup. It's like an expo about cameras or stuff. It's within driving distance for me. I've already registered, and it'll be my very first expo. So the reason I even got the new camera was I want something lightweight to take with me to do like expo filming. The A7 III is a little too big, especially because I'd have to bring the monitor. And I'm more of a lightweight person. I don't like carrying stuff. As somebody that has carried stuff for a living, I don't want to carry stuff if I don't have to. And the GH5 would be great, but the autofocus is terrible. And I don't want to like, hey, person that I'm talking to about this camera, hold on while I bloop, 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 bloop. This is me using the phone app because that's how I use the GH5s. I use the phone app. Bloop, 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 bloop. Focus. Okay, don't move. You just stand still. Don't move, and we'll be in focus. I don't want to do that, so... I'm trying out that's basically what the whole reason I got this was to be like like the expo camera, because I want like the long, it's got a 200 millimeter equivalent zoom lens on it, and so it's got really great slow motion, it's got the zoom lens, it's got great autofocus, so that's what this is for. The problem is that I don't know that it's going to do that well in low light. And the price, it's going to be hard to justify that price. Photo Gear Fun, what about the M50 for expos? Well, so I ended up selling the M50 to get the GH5, and I've been kind of thinking about selling the GH5 to get another M50 for expos like that. That's something else I've been thinking of. Because I do think the M50 would be a fantastic like expo camera because it's super lightweight, audio in, great autofocus. Yeah, I've seriously been considering that. So I was looking at the SL2 today too because I've never made a video about the SL2. I was looking at that. Maybe that'll be like the next thing I try out. Get out, Titus, go fish. That's one question I had. I work today, and I'm about to go grab some dinner. And well, hey, thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Steve Carpenter, I said it like we've been saying it. I think I said it a couple weeks ago at the live. Well, I generally talk about the giveaways at the live stream. Adam Craig Outdoors. Shout out to the M50. It's such a good camera. The M50 is so good. I still cannot get over how good. I mean, do I wish it had 4K? Do I wish it had a non-cropped 4K with dual pixel autofocus? Of course I do. Do I wish it had a little bit better low light capability? Of course I do. But it is. I have no problem recommending the M50. So, like, we did a whole segment on the live stream a few weeks ago where I went on a rant about the Parrot Feedback, where I was like, look, I refuse to recommend something that I don't like because this is me. If I say I like something, I want that to have value. So if the Everyday Dad says it's good, I want that to mean something. And I have no problem saying that the Canon M50 is good. People that don't like the Canon M50 have never used it. Or they just have never used it. That's one of the things about cameras is people get so wrapped up around their cameras and, it does this. Or cameras are very personal. Like, it's shocking, like, how personally people take cameras. But yeah, the M50 is so good. The only thing I wish it did more, so I wish it did 1080p 120 frames per second. That's really it. If it did 1080p 120 frames per second, it would be so good. And I guess low light. Low light was always pretty rough on that thing. Thomas Gertis, I did send the Nafi back. I actually sent it back today. They finally, Parrot says, hey, you can return it within X amount of days. And it's taken me 3 weeks to get them to respond to me about it. So I think the camera's great on it, but if it's just gonna float around and do whatever it wants, ain't nobody got time for that. I certainly don't have time for gear that doesn't work. We've talked about camera gear and just gear in general. I don't have time for stuff that doesn't work. And if it's gonna do its own flying, they sent me so when you return something to Parrot, they're like, okay, give us the serial number, and they do check your flight logs, and like, hey, you were flying over this water, and I was like, yeah, I was flying over water. It didn't give me a problem when it was flying over water. It gave me a problem when it was flying over stone, and it just decided to fly off on its own and run into a ladder. Like, if you guys are gonna make gear that doesn't work, I have no sympathy. I will return it all day long, all day long. Steve Carpenter, that Canon M50 sounds almost too good to be true. Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but if you're looking for like a tiny, it fits like in your hand. It's got the flip-out screen. In 1080p, it's got the dual-pixel autofocus. The EFM lenses they're okay, but you can get an adapter that does all the EF lenses, and I think it's fantastic, but it has its problems. The big one for me was, like I said, the low light. Once you start using Sony cameras, it's really hard to get away from them when you want something to, like, have a very low-light situation, because they destroy low light. Even my GH5... does not do low light nearly as well as like the A7 III or even an A6000 series camera. It's so good. So good. What mic? You guys are talking about mics. The Spark is amazing. I love the Spark. Snicker and MC, what about the M50 for live stream? I can't get rid of the focus box and the HDMI output. I would just turn off, face priority on, autofocus. You could turn it on manual. Or you could turn that, I think it's the face detect. You could just turn that off, and then the picture would be gone. Family of 5, don't know what to think about YouTube anymore. I was making crappy videos when I started, and people watch. Now making better sounding videos. Nobody's watching. Any explanation to that? Sometimes YouTube is a mysterious beast, even to those of us that have been doing it for a long time. Well, I guess I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, so long-ish time. But like the same thing happened to me is I was making crappy videos. Some of them did really well, and then I started making better videos, and nobody was watching them. And then I don't know the way it works for me is so for a camera channel, for a tech channel, you can like go out and buy the newest tech that people are kind of interested in, like the Galaxy S9 or the new MacBook. You go out and get it, and then people anymore are like, don't do search, only do recommended. Well, I still think, search is valuable for bringing in new people. Like recommended is more like, hey, I'm already watching camera videos, so here's another camera video. Maybe I'll find you that way. But search is really powerful when you're trying to bring people that have no idea who you are. They're like, I want to know about the new MacBook Pro, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, hey, this video, and oh, I like that show. So if you're doing vlogs, I don't really know. Vlogs, I feel like, are something that you just have to like build that base where people like get to know you and like you, and then they watch more, and then vlogs are more of a snowball effect, I think. Just because like people like you, they watch your family stuff, they start liking it, and then they watch more of it, which means it gets recommended to a couple more people, and eventually it snowballs and just goes for it. Sean Porter, I'm starting my own channel. I'll get the M50, best bang for the buck. I like your channel. Keep up the good work. Well, thanks so much. But yeah, the M50. I've never used the SL2, but I think they're pretty much the same camera. One's just mirrorless, one's mirrored. I've never actually owned a DSLR. So I own DSLR type cameras, but I'm a mirrorless man. If the 1DX Mark II wasn't so expensive, I almost said something else. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd give it a shot, but I'm definitely not going to try that out. What's up, I Am Wedge? Thanks for joining us. Photo Gear Fun. I found my best videos are for less popular cameras that most others won't review. Yeah, and it's frustrating, right? So you'll make like a huge, like you'll spend all this time, you'll do all these things, and you'll get like this very polished video, and it will go, and then you'll just make like a quickie video, and it becomes like one of the biggest videos on your channel. So for example, my video, what is it? The cheapest vlogging camera on Amazon. It took me like 20 minutes to make that video. It's like my second most viewed video ever. And then I'll have videos that I spend hours on, and they get like 1,000 views, if that. And you're like, oh, YouTube. What do you want, my blood, YouTube? Like, what do you want from me? YouTube? Yeah, Photo Gear Fun, no 4K on the SL2. Yeah, I know, and one of the things about, like, the reason for the Expo camera is I don't think I'd be doing it in 4K anyway, because, I'm going to be trying to, like, talk to people. I'm going to be trying to get product B-roll. I'm going to be trying to edit it while I'm there, so a workflow of 1080p is going to be, smaller file sizes, so I can get more footage onto an SD card, and then it'll be easier to edit later. So I don't think I necessarily want 4K in one of those cameras, even if I use the GH5, because I'm still considering taking the GH5, because I can set it, you can turn off continuous autofocus and just do the the half shutter press focus and keep it close enough, and it'll be wide enough that maybe I'll do that, because I love that GH5. Love it. Steve Carpenter, YouTube and their algorithms, that's the problem. You pay, you get preference. No, not necessarily. That's one of the things that I like about YouTube, is that YouTube has not transitioned to the pay-to-win model. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter's getting there, where you can't really grow organically anymore. They want you to pay to get your stuff in front of eyeballs. They want you to pay. Yes, it's still possible, but it's really hard to grow organically on those platforms. Whereas YouTube, I feel like YouTube's problem is there's just so much out there. Millions of hours of content, billions of hours of content. It's hard, it's hard getting in there, but that's the thing that I like about YouTube. I like that you can still grow organically on YouTube. It's tough, but you still can. You still can. Yep. Lloyd Mendenhall. If vlogs are about personality, it just went somewhere else. Oh, we're still in top chat. Why is it doing that? Okay, live chat. Okay, so if I haven't seen your videos, normally the Everyday Wife is here to do it, but she's not. And I was just on Steve Carpenter. What? I've only owned DSLR. Yeah, never owned a DS. I've never owned a DSLR. Lloyd Mendenhall. If vlogs are about personality, then I'm in trouble. That's why I stopped vlogging, Lloyd. I stopped vlogging because I had my personality. Right? It's terrible. Sticker and still focus box, even if face detect is off, but then I have autofocus on. Don't want to shoot manual on live stream, just tested it. Well, I would say, I think you'd be fine with manual focus in live stream. Like if you're doing this, you just set the manual focus, or you turn off continuous autofocus and just do you can turn on the phone app and just focus like right here, focus, and then, don't do a super shallow depth of field, and you can get a deep enough depth of field to cover a little bit where it doesn't need to be like super on point. And that's one of the things that I'm learning right now using the GH5 is One of the traps I think we fall into when we become camera people, you know, I'm just as much as fault of this, is we're like, oh, we need shallow, we need, you know, autofocus. It's got to be as shallow as possible, as autofocusy as possible. And it's important. It's important, but I'm starting to learn to do a lot more with, like, the GH5, where I keep the depth of field a little deeper, and, you know, it gives you more options when you don't have as good an autofocus, because sometimes you don't. Hold on, we got another. I Am Wedge, give you some love. Oh, I Am Wedge. You're right. I'm so sorry. We have got to check out your video. So we're going to check out your video here in just a second. Because I did. I promised you last time we would. You could have just shot me an @ I appreciate the super chat, though. I appreciate it. Hold on. We're going to do that right now before I forget. Gary Gadget. I sold my 70D and got the M50 and an M100. So happy I went mirrorless. I love mirrorless cameras. I love them. Hold on. I Am Wedge. You're right. Hold on. Search. I Am Wedge. Okay. Which one? So I Am Wedge, tell me what video you want me to look at, because we looked at them last week, and there were videos that you didn't like the one that I looked at last week. Help at home. So the Rode Video Micro is a directional mic that focuses on audio in front of the camera, so that means that would be better at drowning out my kitchen air during this horrendous heat. Yes, but there's only so much that that even a shotgun microphone will do. So this, you know, the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus is a shotgun microphone, much like the Micro, but I got to turn off the fan, even though it sometimes is brutally hot up here. It might help a little bit, but it's not going to fix every problem. Hold on, let me go down to I Am Wedge. I Am Wedge, shoot me an @ Shoot me an @ so I know what video you want me to check out, because I did not. Well, I did forget, but I remember now. Thank you for reminding me. Gary Gadget, do I sell my SJ cams, SJ6 and SJ7, to buy the SJ8 Pro? I've never used an SJ cam. I can't say. I don't know. Mancho, hey man, love your channel. I wanted to ask if the Canon T3i is good for starting on YouTube. Yeah, I've never used one, but I bet they're perfectly fine. Like the Canon makes fantastic DSLRs, and as long as you can do 1080p 30, you'll be fine. You'll be 100% fine. I Am Wedge is the American Spirit runs around Duluth, Minnesota, part 2. Okay, let me find it. Hold on. I Am Wedge. Yep, this channel. We'll switch over. So I won't be able to hear it, unfortunately. Well, yeah, we might have a bit of an echo. We might have, where is it? Wedge, where, videos. Okay, let's see if I can sort by views. Sort by most popular. Truck crane service. Yep, okay. Yep, okay. Hold on, let's switch over to, do we have, hold on, let me make sure that we've got the correct audio set up so that everybody can hear. Okay, got it. Video capture, so I Am Wedge, you're a little late to the party, but we had some legitimate audio issues. So here we go. I Am Wedge. Let's turn this up a bit. I'm not seeing anybody. I don't think the audio's on, but let's see what we got. Oh, whoop, hold on. We're also not on display. There we go. Display. So I like it. I mean, one of the things, and we talked about this last week, is that you're talking about, the title is American Spirit Runs Around Duluth, Minnesota, Drone Video Part 2, and you immediately started with a drone video about the American Spirit Runs Around Duluth, Minnesota. Like, that's the thing that, like, one of the things that people have a problem with is, you know, you just got to, whatever your title is, whatever your thumbnail is, you just got to get into that content as soon as possible. Because, like, so for example, I made a video probably about a year ago where it was the Phantom 4 drone. I bought one, something went wrong with the camera, so I had to return it, and I like made a video of, hey, I'm returning this, you know, drone. And even though I started out really soon, I think I didn't start talking about actually returning the drone for like 60 seconds into the video. You see on your retention graph, people just leave because they click expecting, hey, I'm going to see a video about the American Spirit Runs Around Duluth, Minnesota drone video. And you do it, so I do think that's probably why you've got 21,000 views. And look here, hold on, let's go back to your channel real quick. So you probably have some tips you can give me, because you've got a video with 718,000 views. I don't have anything near that. I think my best view is my best video has like 300,000. 300,000. I bet you could I bet you could give me some tips. Lloyd Mendenhall, what software do I use for streaming? I use OBS, Open Broadcast Software. It's totally free, and it does all right. We have issues like audio syncing problems from time to time, but I'm a really big fan, really big fan of OBS, mainly because it's free. I like stuff that's free. Love stuff that's free. Hold on, okay, let's go back. We're at live chat again. Steve Carpenter, Gary, you have a great personality that makes your channel so good. You make this channel. Can't wait till you hit that 100,000 subscribers. Well, thanks so much. I do really appreciate it. I try to be like upbeat and positive because like I do really believe this, that if I can figure any of this stuff out, you guys can figure this out. And that's what I want to give that to you guys, is that like if you want to do like this online stuff, seriously, so here's some background on the Everyday Dad, or here's some background on Gary, right? So Gary's from a town of, okay, for lack of a better term, a hillbilly town of like less than 1,000 people in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. Gary grew up, around shops that closed at like 5 p.m. We had like a single gas station. Gary barely graduated from high school and then was able to sneak into college and then barely graduated from college. Gary has a very poor like education, and he can still figure this stuff out. So you guys could absolutely figure this stuff out, and that's the whole point of the channel here. And I was talking about like, and just to talk about like YouTube, to circle back around to YouTube channels, like just make content that you like. I started out making content that I liked, trying to get across like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, how can I help you guys learn? Well, it doesn't, like, I feel that I've grown the most in the last year and a half, like in the video production process. And there's a lot of people that want to do that, because a lot of us want to do YouTube stuff. And I feel like that's how I can help. And that's one of the things that we'll keep doing the live streams for, because I like answering you guys' questions, because I can't always make the videos that I want to make on YouTube, because YouTube puts you in a box sometimes. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Wayne Dawson, I don't care which one there's 27 persons watching, but I still put my videos. Absolutely. You got to make videos that you like, no matter how many people watch it. Just that anybody watches my videos at all blows me away. And I know it surprises the heck out of my wife, because when I started this, she was like, "What, you're making YouTube videos? What are you doing?" And this was for like a year. She was like, "What you got to make another YouTube video, huh?" And now, I feel like I've reached a level. So I was also embarrassed to tell anybody that I made YouTube videos for about a solid 14 months of this process. I was like, oh, yeah, I got a YouTube channel. I got like 20 subscribers. And I got 100 subscribers. And once you start getting bigger, at first when you start, at least in my experience, at first when I started, people were like, you got a YouTube? What are you making YouTube videos? Ha, 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 ha. But as you get bigger, it stops being like, ha, ha, ha. And it's like, how did you, what? Well, I get people I've been, a few people that I work with have been like, hey, I saw your video. That's cool. How do I do that? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Gary Gadget got mentioned. Wow, just made my week. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I can make somebody's week. Adam Craig, well, off to bed. Well, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Jesus died for your sins. What photography camera should I get for nature and long exposure shots? I'm not a photography guy. I don't know. I'm sure I don't know. I do video. I like the closest I get to photography is taking the thumbnails for my videos. That's as close as I get. I wish I did more. Like you'll notice my Instagram, I just never am on it anymore because I just feel like I'm terrible at taking pictures. Your audio went up, no audio from the video. Yeah, I saw hold on, is my audio now? Ooh. Audio. Yeah, we screwed with the audio, and we probably now have like a whole bunch of problems with the audio. Ooh, that's what happens when you don't pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, thanks guys. I see now that the mic is a tad hot. It was 100% way too loud. G Martin, do you think likes or audience retention matters more? Audience retention matters more than anything else. It matters so much more. It matters so much more than anything else. It really does. It really does. Hold on. Let's see. I appreciate. Yep. Watch Peter McKinnon. Yeah, I've watched Peter McKinnon a time or two. And Peter McKinnon, just for everybody, he does not have like trademark on the phrase "What's up, everybody." He does. I get so many comments where like, just trying to be Peter McKinnon because he said "What's up, everybody." It's like there's thousands of YouTube channels that say "What's up, everybody." I'm more copying Bugs Bunny than I'm copying Peter McKinnon. What's up, Doc? It drives me crazy. Cohen D. Quintana, thanks for the $5. Love your videos. Do you think you can check mine out too? We'll do it next week because I don't have my headphones right now. So just shoot me like a Twitter DM, or if you come to the live stream next Saturday at 8 p.m., just do just remind me, or shoot me an email at gary@theeverydaydad.net so I can remember, because I have a terrible short-term memory. I will check yours out. I just can't hear it right now, so audio is such an important part. I don't want to like waste your time looking at it. Yep. Gary Gadget's taking me over a year to get 242 subs. Well, that's awesome, though. That's awesome. 242 people like your content. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. Like, that's amazing. Like, so I do public speaking from time to time in front of like 100 people or more. And it's just so weird to consider that, like, I'm talking in front of these 100 people. That's a lot of people listening to me talk. Wow. But then you like right now we've got 78 people watching me ramble about cameras and YouTube videos. And, eventually, thousands or some people will watch this. That's crazy to think of, like, 200 people, like, watching your stuff. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. And, Gary, so that's one of the things, right, is that, like, some people just do YouTube videos and vlogs just to, like, maybe not necessarily to grow a vlog channel, but just it's a repository of, like, hey, we can keep this footage here that we can see forever. David Titus, what's the best thing that has happened to you because of your YouTube career? That's a good question. What is the best thing that's ever happened to me? Companies like to send me stuff, but that's not. I just have to say, like, like right here, like that I have a live show that I do every week, and that people come and they watch and they have a great time and they enjoy themselves. Like that sounds sappy, right? But like, that is the most, like, I cannot believe that I will make a video and people will watch it. Like that, I'm still, like, blown away by that. So thanks to everybody that watches. Like, that's the coolest thing that's happened. I've had some other opportunities that have opened up. There's a huge one that, like, is out there right now that I'm waiting to hear back in, like, 2 to 3 weeks. There's a huge thing that could, like, It won't be much. You won't see a lot of difference from, like, the other end of the camera, but on this end of the camera, it will basically change everything in a good way. So if that happens, it'll be amazing, and that will probably be the best thing that's come of it. I don't want to talk about it until it's, like, solidly locked in, because it might still not happen. The Basic Pilot, do I do all your graphics, or does your wife do them? Yeah, the Everyday Wife, she only joins the live show. She doesn't really like being in the camera. Well, I'm sorry. She did, like, 4 videos. She did, like, a funny voiceover thing where, like, I'd have her voice over one of my videos, so it would be funny. We kind of stopped doing that because they, like, and then she just didn't have the time to do them. And if I can't do something routinely, I don't want to do it at all. I do all my own thumbnails. I do all my own editing. I've been considering looking to hiring out, like, an editor, or to get, like, an assistant or something. Somebody that could maybe be like my cameraman and then do editing for me. The channel's, like, not big enough for that yet, but if this next thing that I'm talking about happens, I may be able to free up the funds to, like, I don't know, pay a high school kid that is interested in, like, YouTube stuff, or like a low-paid intern or something. But that's, like, I'd like to get to that point, because I think that's where, like, building the team, like, all the big channels are not, like, solo people. They're like a team, and I'd like to start building a team, and that's just something that I'm working towards. I'm Wedge, don't want to get caught rambling on. That's why I script my videos, because I will ramble. I have a thing about rambling. G. Martin, I believe constant content and content that is interesting is what really matters. Yeah, but interesting is different to different people. Different people find different things interesting. But yeah, just as long as you can make reliable content, like I said earlier, perfect. You don't necessarily need perfect content. You just need, consistently good content. And you should be doing great. Bill Utah, hey, thanks for joining us, Bill. Really appreciate it. Ethan Mitchell, how many videos did you have when you started having companies contact you to review products? It wasn't very many, because I had one video do really well, and still my most popular video. It's the DJI Spark obstacle avoidance video, and that brought like an advertising firm. Like, they were like, "Hey man, we love your stuff. Let's send you some stuff." So they sent me one thing, but they sent me those goggles, like those Vuzix eyewear headphones that if Get Out the House is still here. I think Get Out the House won those, right? I think he did. But like, they sent me that based on that string of videos, but then I made terrible videos for them, and then they never contacted me back, which yeah, not very big. A Family 5, will I get the Sony A7S III when it comes out? I will probably, now the audio's a tad low. Hold on, I will probably pre-order it and get it. I don't know that I'll keep it. I mean, I'll buy it to make videos about it and then sell it. That's what I do with a lot of the cameras. Just because I buy a camera doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to keep it, just like this thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this yet. Will I get, it just depends. Like, what can they put in it? Like, seriously, so back to expensive cameras. I like that we're like, you guys are doing great, like asking questions that circle me back to like the topic of the video. Like, what could it do? Like, seriously, what could the A7S III really do to, like, move me away from the A7 III? So, let's say it has 4K 60 frames per second. Who cares? I mean, 4K 60 frames per second, I have a camera that can do that, and I never, ever use it. I like slow motion in 1080p, because when you start doing slow motion in the higher the resolution and the slower, the more frames, the bigger those files get. And I still am just using this crappy little 13-inch MacBook right now, until a business proposition comes in next week. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it had a flip-out screen, I'd consider it. I mean, if it had an XLR port, a flip-out screen, and 240 frames per second 1080p, I'd probably seriously consider it. It's got to have the good autofocus, though. The A7S II did not have the good autofocus, so I guess that would be the big one. JD, my favorite thing about my GoPro is that I can pull an image out of the video and it won't be smeared by movement like still shots would. Yeah, and that's, I mean, one of the things is you could do the same thing with like a regular camera, but since it's like GoPro set in auto a lot, it bumps the imaginary shutter speed up so much, so that's why you're able to do that. All good. Take pictures from videos. I love my GoPro Hero 2018. That's awesome. Jeff Baker will work for food. We'll see. We'll see about that. Christina Maxwell, you know a guy with lots of time on his hands? If you guys move to like the DC area, you let me know. I'm guessing a GoPro sponsorship is in the work. Yeah, for as much as I tell people not to buy GoPro, I doubt GoPro would ever want to sponsor me. I doubt they would ever want to sponsor me. Gary, Steve Carpenter, Gary, you may call it rambling, but what you're doing is letting your subscribers get to know your personal side of you. Well, yeah, and so that's the thing, like, so there's a lot of like expert YouTube channels that I don't like very much, but there's two that I really like, and one's video creators, so Tim Schmoyer and Sean. It's either Steve or Sean Connell, video creators, and Tim Schmoyer or is he video creators? Whichever ones, those two channels, they talk about like keeping your content in buckets of like searchable content and then like community content, and live streaming is like the perfect community content because we get a chance to talk live. We get a chance to interact live. Like, what other medium allows you to do this? Like, I'm just some guy that likes making videos, and I can have like a full production studio like in my house. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool. Cohen de Catania. Oh, I saw Jeff Baker did it. Thanks very much. Wayne Dawson, Moza Air is $1,200 on Amazon Australia. Dang, it's not worth $1,200. It is not worth $1,200. Bill Utah, I have to go. Oh, sorry, wife is in a hurry. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for coming out, Bill. Thanks for coming out. Ethan Mitchell agreed. I love the Canon 70D because it can do 720, 60 frames per second and all eyes 75 megabits per second. It looks great. Upres to 4K. 4K is a pain to edit. Yeah, I do everything in 4K anymore. and my computer cries. Like, have you ever heard a computer cry? You should listen to mine cry when I hit export. It's like, no, don't export that 4K on me. Ugh, it hates it. It hates it. It really does. David Titus, how do you feel about the direction YouTube is going as a platform? Do you worry about having all your videos in one basket, so to speak? I don't, you know, if YouTube goes away tomorrow, YouTube goes away tomorrow. Hopefully, whatever the next platform is, you guys would follow me to, and I'll continue to make content. You can't, there's a channel called Folding Ideas, where it's like this guy, he talks about, like, he does a lot of movie reviews, but he also talks about, like, concepts at a time, too. And he made this video about, like, why platforms aren't your friends. And I don't think platforms are any of our friends. And another thing about expert channels that say, like, you know, you shouldn't get monetization for this long because YouTube doesn't owe you anything. Look, YouTube is not some kind of, like, benevolent, like, person that looks down upon us and is like, hey, children, here's all this free money. No, YouTube gets, YouTube gets just as much value out of my videos as I do. So YouTube may not owe me anything, but nor do I owe YouTube anything. That was a button that I've been meaning to say that for a while now. Do I worry about having my videos all in one basket? Not necessarily, because I think of, like, my videos as, so long as they're social media and so long as video is, like, the most important thing, videos about video will always be, like, important. They'll always be, like, something that people want to talk about or want to see. Like, one of the things that I see a lot of people jumping on the Fortnite train, and that's cool because it's popular right now. But look at all the CSGO channels that are, like, circling the drain right now because CSGO is not popular, or it's a video game stuff. Or, like, you get a topic that's cool but then goes out of style, and everybody that's on YouTube needs a camera, so hopefully they'll want to learn about cameras and stuff. So I don't necessarily worry about video stuff going out of style. If it goes out of style, maybe I'll move to podcasts or something. I don't know. A Family 5, how did you find out what your channel was going to be about? I still don't know what my channel should be about. I found out what my channel was going to be about by making 6 months worth of videos that nobody wanted to watch. I just made videos that I liked making. I made moto vlogs. I made moto vlogs. I did daily vlogs. I made videos about like how to make I made slime videos. I made like summer fun time videos. I made all sorts of videos. And eventually I really was like, hey, I found a drone that I really liked. It was the DJI Spark. The DJI Spark is really what kind of, I made videos about that, and it's kind of like what turned the gears in my head on what did I want out of a YouTube channel. And I'm just fascinated by video. I'm fascinated by able to take a camera and, like, I don't know, every time I export a video, I'm like, I cannot believe I just did that. And so that's how I found my, like, niche on YouTube. And that's what I recommend to people, is just go make videos. Just make videos. It doesn't, even in the beginning, like, you won't, like, let's say everybody was monetized off the beginning, you still wouldn't make enough at the beginning to be like, oh, I need to niche down. That's what a lot of the experts say, is you just got to niche down and talk only about that. Well, if you find, like, let's say you don't like cameras as much, but you're like, I made this video about a camera and it did really great, so I'm just going to make videos about cameras. Well, eventually you're going to stop making content because you don't like cameras. So you just got to find something you like, and eventually, it's so like what I did, I eventually found out what I wanted the channel to be about, so I privated all the other videos. I basically deleted them all, hid them all from existence, and the only videos that are still public are the ones that have something to do with, what I talk about normally now. So that's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend. Steve Mack, first time catching the show. I'm hooked. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. We do this every week because we really, really enjoy doing it. Gary Gadget, I don't own anything that can show a 4K video, so I'm sticking with 1080p. Yeah, I don't know why I do 4K, to be honest. I'm sure 1080p is just fine. I like doing 4K because in my head, I think YouTube prioritizes it, but I don't know that that's true. That's probably like an urban legend that I've got stuck in my head and I can't get it out now. Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Sondak, have you seen the Mavic 2 leaks? I have seen the Mavic 2 leaks. Looks pretty cool. The Mavic Zoom. Like here, like so the technology drone gimmick of 2018 is the dolly zoom. Every drone that's come out this year after like the Mavic Air, they're all like, we got the dolly zoom. It's cool, but yeah, the Mavic 2 I'm pretty excited about. The Basic Pilot, do you think it's necessary to cultivate Twitter, Instagram channels to push a YouTube channel? No, I don't think so. A lot of people are like, you got to be everywhere. You got to do everything. I think it's important to know where you're going to spend your time, but I also think it's just as important as where you're not going to spend your time. I don't spend my time on Facebook. I don't spend my time on Instagram. I don't spend my time on a lot of the other stuff that the experts are like, IGTV. Nobody cares about IGTV. If you care about it, that's awesome. But I don't care about it, so I don't do it. I care about YouTube because I like making videos, and I care about Twitter because I just love talking to people. Like, Twitter's my favorite thing. Like, sometimes I like Twitter more than I like YouTube, just because I like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now, and I see what somebody else is doing, I'm talking about it. I know Twitter can be a very dark, like, nasty place, but just like my comment section, just like my YouTube channel, my Twitter feed is not like a democracy. If there's somebody toxic messing around or being a jerk, I just block them. Just like the comments. It's easy. So if you want to cultivate it, yeah, I mean, it's if you can get like a huge following on Twitter and then you'd be like, hey guys, come check out my video, I'm sure that would help. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I only have like 500 followers on Twitter, so there are, some people have bigger YouTube followings, some people have bigger Twitter followings. I just like Twitter because I can talk to people. Desfit, hey, what's up, man? Hey, thanks for joining us. That's cool. Desfit, I haven't seen you in a while, man. David Titus, yeah, the latest YouTube drama of the last couple of weeks has definitely made me think about diversifying distribution platforms a lot more. But where, though? Where would you go? Like, that's the thing. Like, YouTube is where people go to watch videos. Like, Facebook, Facebook videos are structured very differently than YouTube videos. It's all about, like, I don't know. I just, like, I've tried doing the Facebook thing. I still have the Facebook page. I don't update it as much because, like, maybe it's just because I'm comfortable on YouTube, but, like, Facebook treats a view as, like, 1 second. If you watch a video for, like, a second, it counts as a view. YouTube counts a view as, like, 30 seconds because people come to YouTube to watch video. They don't come to YouTube to do anything else but to watch video. And, like, you go to Instagram to look at pictures. It's cool, but Jeff Baker, YouTube gets billions a year from all the ads that gets played. Absolutely. Absolutely. We talked about the Mavic 2. Whoa, what just happened? What just happened? Where's it going? What just happened? Photo gear fun, yeah, you need evergreen content to survive. Yeah, you gotta make your own content. Help at home, sorry I missed those daily vlogs. I do not miss them. I hated it. It upset my wife because I had a camera with me everywhere. I was editing videos just every day. I don't understand. Like, to do daily content, you need a team. And if you don't have a team, I don't understand how people do it. Like, I did it for 46 days, and it was terrible. Because you always got to, like, here's the thing about daily vlogging is when your life becomes your content, then you got to, like, everything becomes sensationalized, and you can't just enjoy life. Like, you can't just sit down and enjoy your day because you got to think about, how am I going to make this video? What am I going to do? What's exciting? What can I go out and do that's exciting? I hated it. Gaston G. LaPerena, Ken Heron, among others, made a video about the Mavic 2 today. Yeah, I don't like speculating on stuff until I have something. I don't like speculating. I'll make a video on something that I don't have if I have something concrete, just because I don't know anything about it. I don't want to, like, give out bad information. Mark Guitardo, I find making videos to be addictive. I agree. I also do that. I do think it's the real deal. I do. I'm sure it'll be cool. Jeff Baker, no one uses a 4K monitor. That's true. JD, 4K eats up SD cards and they get expensive. That's very true. Photo gear, it does give you more editing options. The problem is that, like, the majority of my views come from cell phones. My cell phones don't even do, I think the S9 does 1080p. And even then, I watch it in like 460p. So if you're doing like a crop zoom on a 1080p, you're going to be fine. Nobody's going to notice, any difference. I don't know why I like 4K so much, but I do like filming in 4K. I do. I really do. And I will say that Gaston G. Loperena, no doubt the DJI marketing strategy is incredible. There's two companies that can market, like, they could market, I don't know, they could get me to buy, like, a rock off the ground. And that's Apple, and it used to be Apple, but DJI has their marketing on point. I guarantee every big YouTuber, not me, already has the Mavic in their hand, and they're just going to, like, when they do their keynote, everybody's already going to have it. 1,000 videos are going to descend. It's going to be a furious fury. And then those of us like me are going to go out and buy it, and it's going to be like a 2-month of like people just talking about the drone forever. So they definitely know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, we're a little bit over an hour. We'll do a little bit. We'll do a little bit more, and then we'll get going. Mike Brooks, since you're in the DC area, where do you fly? I drive all the way to the Chesapeake Bay, an hour and a half away to fly, because you cannot fly anywhere around here. Anywhere around here. Sean C, not into vertical video. I am not into vertical video at all. I mean, look at your eyes, right? Your eyes are not like on top of each other. Your eyes, it's more natural to look like wide than it is. I just don't like. I mean, I don't like it at all. I hope if people can do well with it, great for them. I have zero desire to do that at all. I have no desire to do with it at all. Matthew Bloomfield literally just came across your channel. Well, thanks so much. I do really appreciate it. Okay, we are... John Klopp, can you use your personal name for YouTube channel name, or should you come up with a channel name based on your niche to be more visible and successful? I mean, there's plenty of people that have just their name. Casey Neistat. There's a Jason Vong is one of my favorite camera video guys, and that's just his name. I would use my name, but like I can't for like work purposes, because for work I have to keep like everything so separate. Like the Everyday Dad is like me, so it's like it's me trying to use my name but not. It's weird. I would use my name if I could, because I like having the thought of like a personal brand more than like a funny neat channel name. Yeah, I think you could go either way. I mean, the Everyday Dad, people are like, where's your kid? Well, you know, it's more about like, I'm the Everyday Dad. And it's not necessarily we're talking about dad stuff necessarily here. Not necessarily about, you know, stuff here. Okay. What do we got? Do we got any big... If you got any, we'll do 5 more minutes. If you have any like huge... huge last-minute questions, let me know, and we'll go. We're at 1 minute, we're 1 hour and 12 minutes right now. We'll go to 1:17, so we'll do 5 more minutes if you have any follow-on questions. Steve Carpenter, can you recommend an excellent travel and regular tripod? Need to update both. So I like... Hold on, I'll grab you my travel one real quick. Oof. Okay, this, let me make sure it's in the shot, because I can't do both at the same time. So this is my regular tripod. This is my studio professional tripod. It is heavy as heck, and there's a reason I use the GH5 so that I don't have to pull this thing out anymore, because like I don't have the space for it. But it is heavy, but it's so smooth. Like the fluid head is so smooth and stable. What is it? It is a Ravelli, like it's the Ravelli ATP or something. I actually have a video on this tripod if you want to check it out. And then my travel tripod is this. This is the Manfrotto Be Free. It's also got a fluid head on it. It's not as stable because it's lightweight, but I just like that it's small. It's really compact and portable, and you can do some really cool things with it. It's pretty pricey though. I don't know that I would recommend it. Or you could just get, like, if you just want something cheap, the Amazon Basics. Where's my Amazon Basics tripod? I don't know where that ran off to. It might be broken by now, but I used that for a long time, and it was pretty good. I'm going to get a... my next thing that I'm going to get for this conference stuff, or this expo stuff, I will be just a reminder, I'm going to be going to Photo Plus, the expo in October in New York City. If you guys are going, you know, maybe we could do like a inside the conference or something. We could like do a lunch, like an Everyday Dad lunch or something. Shoot me a tweet at me if that's something you guys would be interested in. But I'm going to get like a monopod, so I'm going to try monopods out. Monopod. Okay, we're that. Cooper Shenawark, would you be down to help someone start a YouTube channel? Yeah, I'm always, you just shoot me a DM. I help people out all the time. 100%. Carl Womble, great stream. What's your lens and is it distance from you? I've got the Sony a7 III with the 28mm f2 lens. It's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet away from me. It's 28mm equivalent, but I have it in APS-C mode, so it's a little more cropped in. It's probably like a 35mm to 40mm equivalent right now, just because I really like that. What makeup do I wear? Just my beautiful face. This is all natural. All natural. Emilio Takis, what's up? Don Collins, how you doing? David Titus, what about Everyday Dad merch? I've thought about it, but like I don't have like a. The only cool catchphrase I have is like the pillars of action, or like if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I don't really. Something that I'm working on updating is my logo because I don't really like how my logo looks. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Jonathan, Sean, thanks for coming out. Well, yeah, we'll be closing up here in just a second. Eric Day, I love the color correction in your videos. Can you make a video on how you personally color correct? I don't do any post-processing. All of this is straight out of camera. I don't have time to do color correction. The most I'll do is if something's a little overexposed, I'll pull down the exposure, but I don't do any grading. I don't do anything. It's all straight. This is the A7 III, makes a beautiful, beautiful image. GH5 makes a beautiful image. Ain't nobody got time for post-production. Philip Reed, you mentioned experts recommend niching down. Do you agree with this? I have a lot of different interests. It depends. Like, the farther you niche down, the more you can gain traction in that niche. But if you're not... So my recommendation is make videos that you like until you find something that gains some traction that you can sustainably do. I don't necessarily... Like, people... Don't niche down so far that you hate what you do. Like... You know, make a broad swath, find something that gains traction that you like doing, and then you can, like, hide the rest and focus on that. But I never recommend, like, just niching down so far that it becomes unsustainable. Ethan Mitchell, how often would you recommend realistically uploading content for best traction on YouTube? I started out with 1 video a week. I went to 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week, 7 days a week. I've found, for me personally, that 3 videos a week is about the magic spot for me. But there are channels that only post like 1 video a month and get hundreds of thousands of views per video. So I think it just depends on your kind of channel and how you can get people to it. I don't think it really, I don't know that it matters as much on, on like upload frequency, just so long as you're getting like the retention and you're getting stuff that people watch. John Klopp, it's the Ohio State hat that brings the views. I certainly hope so. OHIO. Okay. All right. We are at that time, everybody. So I see that there are other questions, but my throat is starting to give out on me. So everybody have a Yep. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming out for the Pillars of Action. We will continue doing Pillars of Creation next week. So if you have a YouTube video and you have a channel you want me to check out, we'll get to that next week because I definitely forgot the headphones this week. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a fantastic week, and I will catch you next Saturday. Same dad place. Same dad time, same dad place. See you guys. Have a fantastic weekend.